Greetings, dear ones, from this pile of limestones in the midst of the woods at All Saints Orthodox Church, South Fairfax Road in Bloomington. Christ is risen. Indeed, he is risen. I wanted to tell you a story today about a dear friend of mine. It was quite a while ago, I don't know, maybe 25 years ago. And I found myself at the Antiochian Village camp on the ropes course there with this dear friend of mine. And we were training in trust. And we were training to trust one another as counselors and staff members at the camp. And so I climbed the ropes course and got to the top, and I don't know how high up we were, maybe 15 or 20 feet, I can't remember. And this other man came behind me. And as he came up, I heard him saying, "I'm afraid of heights, I don't like this, I don't want to do this." And I looked at him, and I could see that he meant it. He wasn't joking, he wasn't attention-getting, he was really terrified. And so I reached my hand down to him, and I said, "It's okay," I said, "come on up and just reach my hand." And he came another foot or so, and now he was about probably 6 feet beneath me, and he said, I can't do this, I'm afraid of heights, I can't do this. And I said, "It's okay. It's all right. You come up, you just reach my hand. You know, you're harnessed in. You're not going to fall. If you do fall, you'll be caught. It'll be okay. Everything will be fine." He came up another couple feet, and by now he was 2-3 feet away from me, and I could see the sheer look of terror in his eyes. I've never seen terror like that before. He was terrified of heights. And I knew that no matter what, at that point, he had to get to where I was immediately. Now, this was a pretty big man and a pretty heavy man. I mean, not heavy as in fat, but he was a muscular, big guy, tall. And so he said, "I can't do this." And his eyes were just shocked. And I looked at him and I said, "You can do this. Reach my hand. I'll reach for you. Let's go." And I just swung my hand down, and he swung his hand up, and we caught each other by the wrist. And I just pulled him up. He wasn't even climbing at that point. He was paralyzed. I just pulled him up. I had the adrenaline, I guess, going in my body. But because at that moment I knew he needed my help to get from where he was to where he needed to be. Now, if we, who are imperfect, sinful human beings, can do that for one another, how much more so does God, who is perfect in every way, and loving beyond our wildest imagination, how much more so will God do whatever it takes to reach out and grab us and bring us to where we need to be when we ask for help? That's what God does. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths." Brothers and sisters, sometimes we become frightened and we forget who is really in charge. Sometimes we find ourselves paralyzed on that ladder. I think the name of that ropes course was called Jacob's Ladder. We find ourselves paralyzed there and we can't move. We're too frightened to go down, but we know there's no way we're going to make it to the top. But there is Jesus extending his hand to us and saying, "Trust me in all your ways. You might not understand it. Don't lean on your own understanding. Trust me."